Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a 2025 year in review slash 2025 audit video for me. I saw a YouTuber by the name of Blessing Smith make this kind of video. I think I watched it a few days ago, and it was really eye-opening for me, and it kind of was the motivation I had to make this audit video myself. Sometime towards the end of 2025, there was this trend where people, I don't even know if the trend had a specific name, but basically people were buying like cakes. Mostly you were seeing people buy cakes, and then they would have like little toothpicks or skewers, and on each skewer they would attach like a tiny little sticky note where they would write one major accomplishment, right? And so imagine a cake full of different skewers, and then they will take each one like, oh, hi, my name is Karen, and this year I traveled to three new countries. Put that into the cake. Hi, my name is Karen, and this year I maybe bought my first car and put it into the skewer. So basically, the trend was all about, you know, at the end of the year, kind of looking back at your year to see the major accomplishments that you had. And I thought it was really cool. Like, it was so nice to comment on a video like, oh my god, you did so well this year, congratulations, blah blah blah. I really wanted to do that kind of video. I really wanted to, like, I was this close to going to buy the cake, but I just felt like I didn't really feel like I did anything or had any accomplishments that were celebration worthy, if that makes sense. And it's so sad to say, but it's one of the things that social media has kind of, influenced us, whereby things that we should normally be very happy and kind of thankful that we did, we just feel like it's not celebration worthy, because when you compare it to things that other people that you see on social media are celebrating, yours just deems like it goes so much into the background based on theirs. But having watched Blessing Smith's video, by the way, this juice I just blended it. It has some celery, green apples, and cucumbers in it. It's really, really good. So yeah, but when I watched Blessing Smith's video, I just realized how important it was to just kind of do a year in review for yourself. And yeah, I mean, why not? You can share it like on social media without the pressure to feel like, oh, I'm not able to share because I didn't accomplish much. Because some of my best views of the trend were the ones where people would say things like, oh, my name is Karen, and 2025 I survived, and that was the entire video. And I'm like, yeah, I'm happy for you, girl, because when you really think about it, that's something to be very grateful for. I don't see being alive as being an accomplishment, because it's not necessarily something that you did of your own power, right? It's just God's gift to you that you're still alive. So it's definitely something to be grateful for. But if you really listen to the year 2025 that some people had, you realize why expressing gratitude for things like just being alive or just surviving, or being healthy, like things that are seemingly small are actually very big things. And so I thought, yeah, why not like do a mini 2025 year in review video. Now this video is not scripted. I'm just speaking like very extemporaneously, because I just want to share some of the things that kind of went on last year, and some of the lessons, most importantly, because again, whatever it is that I feel comfortable sharing is what I will share. So let's start. January of 2025, what happened? Nothing much happened. We were still pretty new in Houston, having moved from Illinois. So it was kind of, interesting to kind of get used to the heat. The heat here in Houston is very, very similar to the heat in Nigeria. And coming from Illinois, where the weather is a lot more colder, it was a little bit of a learning curve to get adapted back into the heat. But we had a lot of friends who were really supportive in that process. It was kind of the same thing for February. Well, February we celebrated our first wedding anniversary, which was really cute. I remember us taking some pictures in the living room, just myself and my husband, just kind of like basic pictures. And then we went to the aquarium in Houston. That was my first time ever been there. It was such a nice experience. We got to see the tiger, but the tiger was sleeping. It was so huge. I wish we went there. They told us that the tiger is usually more active in the mornings, and we went around afternoon slash evening time. So maybe we'll find time to go there again and actually get to see the tiger like live in action and stuff. But even just seeing it sleeping, you just feel so in awe of God's power, right, in creating these animals. And then we went to a Thai restaurant for dinner. It was really, really nice. Thinking that this is January, right? And then my second wedding anniversary is less than a month is actually really crazy to me. I can't believe that I've been married for 2 whole years. But yeah, February was a really cool month. That was like the major thing that happened in February. In March, what happened in March? I really can't remember anything serious that happened in March. April was one for the books. April was that month where I felt like, yeah, like April was tough. Without getting into any details, it was tough. And April was one of the months where I just realized how important it is to marry somebody, not just for the sake of, oh, people are pressuring you, get married, but get married when you really feel like you're ready to get married, and get married to somebody that's kind, because the person that you choose to get married to is probably one of the most important decisions of your entire life. And in times, in life moments where life is just a little bit chaotic, either with, with finances, with money, with family, you really need to be with somebody who is on the same page with you, somebody who wants to grow with you, somebody who understands you, somebody who's willing to work together with you. It's very, very important. April was tough. It was, even till now when we still talk, I still remind my husband, like, April 2025, yeah, that was a very tough month. But yeah, we survived, and I'm so happy, so grateful, so thankful that we survived that month. um really thinking about the rest of the months of the year, I can't really say that anything major stood out to me. It was just like very basic, just like regular routine things. I really enjoyed December too, because we went to Canada for the first time. Like I said in my Canada vlog, would I ever go to Canada in the dead of winter like we did? I'm not sure. Aside from like just seeing the winter, like, oh, the snow, it's very pretty, but actually going to Canada in the dead of winter, I don't think I would ever do that again. I think I'll be more open to going in summer, where you can actually see the trees blooming. Like, I think that I want to go back to Canada in summer or in fall. I'm probably not in the dead of winter. So yeah, the trip to Canada in December was also really interesting. Like going to New York to see family and friends, that was really cool. But yeah, I think for the most of 2025, those are really the candid moments that stand out to me. So let's talk now about some of the lessons that 2025 taught me. One of the most important lessons that 2025 taught me is how fast time moves. Like, you've heard people say that your greatest asset is time, but 2025 taught me how fast time moves. Like, literally, time runs by, you won't believe it. Time runs by so fast. One of one acquaintance that I had, really close acquaintance of mine, got married in December of 2024, right? I remember her wedding, like December of 2024, and she celebrated her 1 year anniversary December of 2025 with a 3 months, I think 2.5 or 3 months old baby. And I remember when her anniversary came around, I was like, wow, it's been 1 year already and you already have a kid? Like, what? Time runs by so fast. And 2025 made me see that. Time went by so fast. Like, even myself, celebrating my first wedding anniversary in February 2025, that was insane. Like, what? I've been married for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 whole months, 1 year. It was crazy. So 2025, I feel like time was, it was running, it was galloping. And Speaking still on how fast time was running just taught me how important it was to get whatever you want to do, get it done. Because if you don't get it done, the time is just gonna go anyway. So why not just do what you have to do? Which is why, like this year, for example, this video that was supposed to go up last Wednesday, for genuine reasons I couldn't make it go up. And then I found myself wallowing, like, oh my god, you've missed like 1 week of content. Instagram and YouTube is going to think that you're a joke. And I was falling deep and deeper into that hole that I almost did not film another video. And then I said to myself, like, what's the point? Yes, I missed that, and it was for real genuine reasons. I can either wallow in that feeling of, oh, I'm a failure, or just pick up the camera and film something else that will go up next Wednesday, right? Because time is gonna go so fast. Like, I can't even believe that today's already January 19. It's insane. When did we enter 2026? It's January 19 already. So that was one of the major lessons. Like, time went by so fast. Number two lesson that I learned in 2025 is how important it is to have that um to be married to somebody that's kind, because life will test you in ways that you did not even anticipate, right? Life will really push you, life will stretch you, like it will fold you, roll you up like a ball, throw you. And in the midst of all that chaos, you need to be with somebody. I mean, if you are married, whether it's be with somebody like your marital or your marriage mate, or even like friends, family, you need to have that support system who is there to help you out when things get really really tough. Because you know things will get tough. This is not like, oh, don't wish me bad. That's not the point. It's just, in this life, there might, or there most certainly would always be times when things are just not balanced, right? Things will get a little bit tough. Times where you might need to stretch yourself a little bit more than your spouse does. Your spouse might need to stretch themselves a little bit more than you do. Your family might need to be there for you a lot more than they currently are, and you might need to be there for family a lot more than you're currently doing. And so just having that relationship, that friendship, that community, being somebody who is kind at heart, and just being there for people is very important. And in the same vein, 2025 also taught me how important it is to give grace to other people, because life is happening for everybody. And so many times we can get so caught up in our own life, what's going on with us, that we kind of think that every other person's lives revolve around ours, and it's just not the truth. You are the main character in your own life, not the main character in somebody else's life. And so you have to learn, or I had to learn, to give more grace to people. Like, yeah, maybe I called this person, they didn't really pick up my call exactly when I called them, they didn't call me back. It probably doesn't have anything to do with me. Maybe they're just struggling to even be alive, and maybe something else is going on in their life, and I'm the least of their worries. I had to learn to give people a lot more grace. And I really appreciated it when people gave me that grace too, because I'll be honest, the kind of person that I am, I'm the kind of person that if somebody calls me, I want to pick up their call right now. Sometimes, I have other things that I'm dealing with, and picking up their call at that moment is probably not top of my list, but that's just the kind of person I am. Because my first thought is, oh, what if they're in danger? What if they need me to pick up the call right here, right then? But some other people don't really have that much, will I say, urgency. Like, there are some people that you almost already know that if you call them, they're probably not going to pick on the first time that the phone rings, right? And so I would like get a little bit offended in the past, like, oh, I was calling you, you didn't pick my call, you didn't call me back. But I just learned how important it was to just give grace to people. Like, everybody's going through something, and it's not always about you. So you need to learn to just let people be, give people the benefit of the doubt. And for me, how that shows up in my life is that I try to give people excuses. Like, yeah, I called her, maybe she's busy, maybe she's you know helping her child with something else, or maybe he's on the phone with somebody else. I try to give excuses for people, and that way I don't take whatever it is that they are doing to me too personally. Another important lesson that I learned. And the last and probably the most important is that growth doesn't have to show up. How do I say it? I guess you could say that growth doesn't have to show up in a big way. right? Growth doesn't have to be one major big life achievement, right? Growth shows up in little consistent steps, which is why a life audit like the one that I did for myself, which kind of inspired this video, is very important. I believe that gratitude is linked to memories. And so sometimes if you're feeling like you're dealing with just feelings of, like nothing is really going on for me, like I'm just where I've always used to be, maybe you need to maybe bring out your journal or just look through your camera roll, look at the months that you've lived and see things that happened. You realize that you have so much more to be grateful for than you are actually seeing. And so gratitude is directly linked to memories. If you remember things that happened, you remember situations that you overcame, you remember situations that you were in that it almost seemed like it would never get better. It almost seemed like that was how it was going to continue to be. But look at you now. You made it. You survived. You're here. You're in a much better space. You tend to feel more grateful. So I would urge you who's watching this, if you've been feeling ungrateful lately, if you haven't really, feel like you had so much to be grateful for, do a live audit. Nothing serious. Just look through your camera roll, look at your journal, look at the list of things that you prayed for at the start of the year. Look at yourself at the end of the year. What are some of the goals that you've been able to accomplish? I trust you would find more than one thing to be really grateful for. So yeah, that's all about my year in review for 2025. I'm really grateful for 2025. I'm grateful that I'm here, I'm alive, I'm healthy. I'm grateful that, the experiences that I had, some of the situations that I went through that I thought would never get better, some of the places that I was in that I really felt like life could not get any better, like I'm in a much better place now. A lot of those situations, I've overcome them. I'm really grateful. 2025 was a very, very challenging but also interesting year. And I'm looking forward to everything that 2026 has to offer. So if you enjoyed watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe so that you don't miss when I post the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.